What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have a review on the Puma Ultra Ultimate. It's been out for a while now. I got this Tricks colorway. I did an unboxing of these when they came out, so if you guys want to go see that video, go check them out. And I do say like my first impressions on these boots and what I think about them. But this is I guess the review. I have tried these boots for the past like 2 to 3 weeks almost. But this boot, like I said, really surprised me. I actually do really like it a lot. I don't know if I like it more than the previous one. I feel like it's just two different boots. Like, even though they do look similar, they are two completely different like boots in terms of like feel, like on foot. And in terms of touch, it's a little bit different, but just the way they fit and feel is like completely different, even though they do look basically the same. Okay, so we'll start off with the upper, which is kind of the main difference that we do see. Before, it was like a knitted upper, like the forefoot was a different material, and then the midfoot was that fusion fit, and it was all knitted. This time around, it's like this mesh material, like the synthetic mesh, and it comes like all throughout here, the toe box, and then here in the midfoot, and it's like that little seam that you guys do kind of see right here. So this is all like a synthetic like mesh material, and it's really soft. You guys can see how soft and pliable it is even after using it. I will say, like, in the toe box it was pretty soft, but then here in the midfoot I found that it was really like it was kind of like more stiff, and it felt a bit more restrictive on the side here. And I'm guessing that was just because of the internal liner here on the midfoot on the sides, and I feel like that just took a little bit more time to like break in and soften up. And then after that, like after using them and stuff like that, they did soften up, and they felt less like restrictive, and they kind of just relaxed a bit more. Like the upper, I feel like maintained its shape pretty well until you started using them, and then they kind of like soften up a bit more. It was just a bit more, not stiff, but it was just firmer out of the box. But now, like that you have used them, it's just super soft, super nice. I did get a little bit of pinching in the beginning here, but then that kind of just went away after like a couple minutes of just me juggling the ball and stuff like that, so it felt fine. There is like an internal like padded liner that you do get a bit of a dampening sensation, so there is that. It's not like overly thin, but there is that little bit of padding that you do get from like the liner, and I really like that. I like the way it feels. I think you only get it like from like the toe box basically here, and then afterwards there isn't really like a liner here or nothing like padded liner, just here in the toe box. But it feels really nice. I like the touch. Nothing too like crazy, nothing really special, kind of simple. You do get a little bit of texture here with these like little dots, but to be honest, I didn't feel any like crazy amount of like grip on the ball. I feel like it did add a little bit of like grittiness to it, and I did feel it a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. Like I said, in the middle we do still get like a knitted material here, and I'm guessing this is just Evo knit, so I'm just gonna call it like the Evo knit. It's not really stretchy like that, so I guess there's a little bit of tension, but it's nothing crazy like I said. And then here in the midfoot is where we see the most change, and here they have this power tape, which to be honest I don't think it really does anything. I will say like the midfoot is like really well supported and really like responsive. Like when you tie these boots up, they're super responsive. They just wrap your foot really nicely, and like you just feel like secure in these boots. But I don't think that's because of the power tape. I think that's just because of the internal liner that you do get that is a bit thicker. It's like, it's weird to say like that power tape is like the reason why that is. Like you guys can see like this part of the boot is pretty soft, even here where the power tape is, and then here on top it's kind of a bit more like, not stiff, but it's a bit more like structured here in this like area after like the stitch. So here it's soft, even on the power tape it's soft, and then here it's just a bit more like responsive, like more structured. And that's probably just because of like the internal liner that you do get here. Like even in this part that's not the power tape, it's still pretty like structured and responsive. So I feel like if it was the power tape, it would only be in the areas where the power tape is, but it's not. So you guys can see here this little bit of space here. So yeah, it's probably just like an internal liner that you get from like this section of the foot, but it feels really good. I like the way it feels. You tie your laces tight and it feels really responsive. At the insole, I'm guessing it's because of the colorway doesn't have like their like grip like liner that they usually have. It's just like a suede. So yeah, if you guys just want like the normal one, I guess, don't get this colorway, because this one, I think it's because this one they made it green, and this one it's like pink, if you guys can see that. So they did change the material for the colorway, but I didn't really find much of an issue, just because I did use them with grip socks and without grip socks, and there was no slippage or anything. I felt like they were fine. Now in terms of fit, I feel like the fit did improve a little. I feel like this one is all like consistent all throughout. It's pretty wide all throughout as well. Like the midfoot, you get a good amount of like space and volume, I would say, even though it is like structured. And the toe box is like a bit more wider in my opinion. In terms of sizing, I did find that they were a little bit long. I do have a little bit of space in the toe, which for me, I don't really mind. If it still fits perfectly in the midfoot. I will say, if you guys have like space in your boots right now, you guys could go half a size down and it would probably fit perfectly. Otherwise, I would just stick true to size. For me, it was fine true to size. Like even with that little bit of space, I didn't really mind it. I feel like if I did go half size down, the midfoot would be too tight and it would just hurt my feet. So for me, I'll just stick true to size. And for me, I didn't really feel any movement inside the boot, just because when you do tie your laces tight, there isn't really any movement inside. It just feels like secure. So I didn't really have an issue with that. And especially with grip socks, there's no movement at all. Now another change that we do see is the outsole. So the outsole and the stud pattern did get a change, and it is a bit of a thicker plastic, I think, but it's a lot more flexible in my opinion, and it just feels a bit more like natural. And I actually prefer this sole plate than the previous one. This one just feels a lot more flexible. Like you guys can see, like it's, for me, it's just a better feeling underfoot. And like I said before, if you guys seen my videos, I do like a more flexible sole plate, just because it is more like natural feeling. The midfoot is still nice and stiff. There isn't like a crazy amount of movement here, but the midfoot is just really nice. I really like the sole plate compared to the previous one. And now the stud pattern, here we have more like a bladed style stud pattern. And the studs are really aggressive. They're pretty long, longer than normal like other studs. And apparently you can use this on FG and AG, but to be honest, for AG, I feel like they're just a bit too long for that. Like I did wear these on AG, but for my field, the field did get renovated like last year, and so the artificial grass that they did use is a bit deeper. It's one of like the newer ones, and so for me, I don't really get stuck on that field. But I feel like older AG like pitches, ones that aren't as like deep and they're more shallow, like these, you will definitely get stuck on those. But yeah, these provide a lot of bite, really aggressive, a really good set pattern in my opinion, and a really good sole plate. And overall, the Puma Future Ultimate really did surprise me. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, especially because the 1.4 was my favorite like boot that released last year. I really liked using that boot a lot. And so when I saw like that they didn't really include the Fusion fit and they kind of changed things around, like I didn't think I was going to like it as much as the previous one, but I actually do like this boot a lot. It just feels a bit more secure and a bit more locked down. It is a different feeling in the midfoot. And in terms of performance, it's a really good performing boot. You get no rollover in the midfoot when you tie the laces tight. Puma does say you could use these laceless, but I honestly wouldn't recommend it because obviously there is some tension here, but it still stretches. And so the laces just provide like that lockdown. And without the laces, it just, you probably will get rollover and it won't feel as structured as they should be. So just wear the laces, in my opinion. Or if you want to wear them without laces, I guess just like leave them like loose, but just keep the laces on. But yeah, that's it for this review. Hopefully I did give you guys information on this boot and details if you guys are looking to buy these cleats. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. Also subscribe so you guys can see more content on football boots / soccer cleats. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.